What is up, New York Jets fans? A very good evening to everybody. It is Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's great to have you here on the Midnight Mike Show, coming to you from the Long Island Sound. Everybody who's in here, welcome. I hope you hit that like button. That really helps out the show more than you would ever even know. It's a little thumbs up button right below this video, or if you're watching on television, you hit the up button and then up again, I believe, and then over to the like button, and you hit it. It's free. Let's get those likes hit and let everybody know that we are live tonight here on the Midnight Mike Show. A couple things to talk about. I have a little bit on Malachi Corley and CJ Mosley, which we didn't get to talk about. CJ Mosley, actually, we talked about it a little bit on Tuesday night show before we even knew of what came this week. And I think that the future for CJ Mosley will hopefully be part of the Jets organization. We will be hoping for all of that. But the main thing that I want to talk about tonight is getting behind Aaron Glenn. Okay, we'll talk about all that tonight on the Midnight Mike Show. But it's time to get things started, officially start the show, and let's hear that Jets chant. All right, here we go. Another Midnight Mike Show ready to get started. I have good news and I have bad news. What do you want first? I can't hear you. I'll give you the bad news first. The bad news first is this is overtime. I have overtime tomorrow morning, very early, another 10-hour day. So the show isn't going to go as long as usual, but we'll still give you an hour, hour and a half. Have a good time tonight. Welcome, Michael. Good to see you. Yes, Mets. I know you're calling the Mets Philadelphia game, or watching it and screaming at the television, one or the other. I hope you're screaming and ranting like only Mets can. But regardless, what's up, Michael? What's up, Chris? What's up, everybody in here? Like I said, hit that like button. Anyway, let's start it off on the show. I'll go. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the good news and the bad news. The bad news is we're probably going to end a little early tonight because I have to wake up super early for a 10-hour shift. But the good news is that I know you guys have heard me talking about overtime a lot on this show lately, but the good news is that over the summer, there's no overtimes. So from tomorrow till right around when training camp gets kicking, there's going to be, no more, oh God, I have overtime or whatever. So we're going to be able to get into the next Jet season all together, normal shows, Saturday night, Tuesday night, all that great stuff. And yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, let's talk about why I want to unify under Aaron Glenn. I have seen so many people on both sides of the coin. Okay, I've seen people thinking that the Jets are pessimistic and the Jets are going to do terrible, 4, 5, 6 wins. I've also seen the other side of the coin, which is the optimists. Okay, and it's people like Chris, it's people like Ricky NY, people who are saying, no, you know what? Let's have faith in this team. Let's they're going to 7, 8, 9, 10 wins. Up in, I've seen it up in that range. My whole thing is that whether you're a pessimist or an optimist, we need to rally behind Aaron Glenn. There is not a better story for a New York Jets fan or the New York Jets in general than Aaron Glenn coming to coach the New York Jets. Okay, once again, it's like I know everything bad always happens to the Jets. I've been a fan for 40 plus years. I know a lot of you in here have been fans for decades upon decades, and you're used to the misery and just getting kicked in the nuts all the time from this team. But when is it our time? It's our time down here. Okay, it's our time down here, as Mikey, leader of the Goonies, would say. Okay, we have seen so much bad luck, so much bullshit over the years that I feel like we've got to be due. We've got to be due. And what a better way than to have a player who played his fucking ass off for the New York Jets, a guy who gave everything he could to this team as a player, a Pro Bowl player in number 31, Aaron Glenn, coming to the New York Jets after he didn't just come. It wasn't just like, oh, here's the next player, let's make him the head coach. This dude went through the system. He was a scout. He was a different types of coaching leading up to him being the defensive the defensive coach for the Detroit Lions up until a head coach for the New York Jets. There's not a better story as a Jets fan than to hope and pray that this all works. Okay. And it could be our time to finally have some luck. I'm not saying this season we're miraculously going to be a winning football team or a playoff team, but let's show some support. Let's show some goddamn fucking support. Okay. Let's get behind Aaron Glenn. Let's not go. And once again, I'm going to have to heed my own advice because you guys know that if we get into this season and we're 1-4 or we're like 2-6, I'm going to be calling for Aaron Glenn's head, and I want you guys to remind me. Mike, on 6/21/2025, the day that there was tactical strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities, that's all I'll remember. I'll go, okay, I remember that day. You said we need to unify around Aaron Glenn, and hopefully it'll bring me back down to earth, and I'm going to probably need that reminder. I'm just saying. Anyway, we'll talk about that tonight. We'll talk about C.J. Mosley. We'll talk about Malachi Corley. Let me bring on my brother from another mother, a dude who's suffering through the end stages of COVID. Hopefully he's feeling better. Ladies and gentlemen, Maddie Jets. How you doing, Maddie?
What's up, everybody? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you though? How is
a little
that
rough,
COVID?
man. I'm tired. It's the fatigue is very real. So we'll see. But don't have a fever anymore, so that's something.
That's a good thing. How's the throat? Because I've been hearing like these newer variants of COVID that are around.
My throat's fine.
Okay, I've heard there is like this one variant where it's like the throat gets torn up.
No, I didn't have that. It's a lot of phlegm, a lot of sweating my ass off. But I'll be all right.
All right, that's good to hear.
It's hot as shit in Denver right now, so that doesn't
good
help.
to hear. Scott's in the house. Good to see you, Scott. Valerie in the house. Hey, Mike and Maddie, the first lady of this channel, Valerie, and a channel member. Thank you, Valerie, for being in here. I appreciate it. But before we get into other things, Maddie, what did you think of my opening? Is this going to be finally our time?
No, that's nice. I'm not rallying behind anyone until they prove their worth.
Maddie, in my intro, I said I don't expect this season miraculous things to happen.
I don't either, but until I see some improvement, I'm not throwing my weight behind anybody.
Correct. Okay, that's fine.
I'll sit there and watch the games, and I'll root for my team.
But you can't. But he's your coach of your team.
Okay.
So let's support that.
What do you want me to do? You want me to send him a fucking fruit basket?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe like an edible arrangement.
No, I will sit here. I will watch the games, and I will critique them fairly. But I'm not going to start sucking anybody's dick when this team won 5 games last season and has really shown that all they've done this year is the proper maintenance to stop the bleeding at best.
Maybe, Maddie, think about it this way. Are you a superstitious karma? Do you believe in any of that kind of thing?
Okay, sort of. I mean, I'll pay attention.
Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. I've been a miserable Jets fan for 40 years, as sure you have too.
Mm-hmm.
And we just always are pessimistic. We're always
we are not.
We are almost always.
You need to go back and watch the shows from a year ago.
No. Okay. So 1 out of every 10 years, we feel like there's some hope. 1 out of every 15 years, we feel like there's a little hope. What I'm saying is if we can turn that around, if we could turn that pessimism around, it would be such a great story. It'd be finally our time if Aaron Glenn 3 years from now has us a playoff team like one of those top Rex Ryan or Bill Parcells teams.
That would be great.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, instead of just jumping down his throat immediately.
I'm not jumping down his throat either.
I know you're not.
I am not going to start being a cheerleader, rah, rah, till I see something like, as the song says, give me something to believe in. Right now, I'm not anti-Aaron Glenn, but at the same time, what have I seen? You got rid of the only solid player on our team, our punter, and we're built for this shit. What are we built for? Show me what we're built for.
I'm hoping he can do that.
I'm hoping so too, but I'm not.
Now you said, what do you want me to do? Send him a fruit basket? Scott says it. A handy will do.
Yeah, well, that's your department because I'm not optimistic yet.
I didn't say I was optimistic. At no point did I say I was optimistic, Maddie. I just said that even though I'm pessimistic, even though if, like I said,
look, I'll root for the guy if he shows some quality shit. I'm gonna be on his side. I'm not gonna jump on his ass the first loss we get, but I'm not gonna run around. Here's the thing, okay, and this is kind of leads into what I want to talk about.
Okay.
I saw a guy on Twitter today at the fucking Pirates game wearing Jets gear talking shit to Steelers fans. The Jets are a 5-win team. We don't get to shit talk anybody, let alone the Pittsburgh Steelers, at a baseball fucking stadium. So Jets fans, I'm sorry, but you know what? Jets fans need to grow up and be realistic too. And the fact of the matter is yeah, I want us to do well, and yeah, I'm going to always root for my team. But acting like a bunch of jackasses does nothing. Like, it's one of those where literally as a Jets fan, if I saw him getting his ass kicked at the stadium, I would walk right past him and not help him.
Oh yeah, well, absolutely. Maddie,
so campaigning for shit like this, like right now, there is nothing. Jets fans should be doing nothing but observing quietly.
Yes.
Because right now I have seen nothing that excites
me. Or do what we do usually on this show, and that's admit we suck.
Yeah, but there's realistic. But right now there is nothing to be excited about. Like, I mean, really, that's the way it is. And sorry, but I gotta stay hydrated. Right now we have nothing to talk shit about. We did not hit a home run with the draft. We did a solid maintenance draft, which we needed to do, which is fine. But all of this rah-rah bullshit, first of all, it's fucking June. Second of all, there is nothing to look at and go, wow, we're really killing it with this. We got rid of Thomas Morstead, who was the only bright part of our season last year for some games. So I'm not going to dump on this team, but I'm not excited. I'm going to sit quietly and see what they do, and we will go from there. It's as simple as that.
Another thing, Maddie, when you were talking about someone who's brainless enough to sit there and talk shit to any other fan base as a Jets fan, it's like we've already admitted that we are going to be you're not even going to be able to control what assholes we are going to be when the Jets win the AFC East,
but or not until then.
Yeah, or win a conference championship or win a Super Bowl. People aren't even going to be able to stand us. But until then, let's keep it real. And
like I say, I will root for my team. I will always root for my team. I am not rooting against my team. What I'm saying is, and I will be loud when I root for my team.
Jets Worldwide, Snowball got it.
Yeah, but I'm not. I just don't think that we should be running around bragging about the nothing that's been accomplished of late. So,
Dark Soldier, what's up, man? Good to see you. Ricky NY, good to see you, buddy. I mentioned you earlier. I said there's the optimistic fans, the pessimistic fans, but I think we need to rally around Aaron Glenn. And once again, I guarantee you, need to be reminded this season. You're going to see me on a reaction video after a frustrating game, and I'm going to be like, get rid of Aaron Glenn, get rid of Darren Muji, get rid of Justin Fields, fuck the Bears, I need you guys to be like, remember the end of June. Remember what you said, Mike, and I'll try to bring it back down to earth. Guys, keep hitting that like button. I really do appreciate that. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Just seeing what we got in here. Did you guys watch Slasher yet? Dark Soldier, I started watching it. I am in the first season, and I think I'm like 4 or 5 episodes in. You didn't warn me that it was a Canadian show, but I'm okay. I'll deal with it. But anyway, yeah. So, and Maddie, we talked about this on Tuesday night. We were talking about how CJ Mosley has still been talking to linebackers, Quincy Williams, guys like that. He's been taking them out to dinner, still giving them advice. And we sat there saying, like, you know what, man, this guy, if he doesn't want to keep playing,
I'm sure he'll be.
We need to get him some sort of spot on the New York Jets.
I have no doubt they will do that.
Maddie, I'm hoping, because CJ Mosley retired, folks, as all of you know. A great career, good for him. Yeah. Was a constant
stand-up guy, great dude.
Yeah, always
team leader all around.
Yep,
really
always brought morale up, all that stuff. I don't think there's a better guy that you could find him a job. Like, I don't care if you make up a position, like director of, kick-assery, whatever you want to call it.
No, for sure. I agree.
Yeah, he needs to get in there. We need him in that locker room. We need him talking to players. We need that morale. We need that confidence that CJ Mosley brings to the table. But congratulations to him on a great career in Baltimore and on the Jets and whatever. It's like when he was on the field, you knew you had a leader and you knew you had someone who would give it their all.
No, I got nothing but good things to say about CJ Mosley.
Dark Soldier says, my bad. Next time I'll mention it. It's a show outside of the U.S. despite English speaking. No, well, the funny thing is when I was watching the show, Maddie, I kept thinking like, there was a few characters that I kept thinking like, how they hire like Australians and all these other people to play Americans. And then every now and then you'll catch a word they say in their American accent and you'll be like,
you're like wrong.
Yeah, that's not an American. There was a few times I heard something and I couldn't figure it out. And then I went and looked at the show and it takes place. Well, by the third or fourth show, the officers are in clearly Canadian they're not dressed as Mounties, but they're still in, Canadian police attire. And I was like, oh, that's it. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing some sort of Canadian accent.
I started watching Yellow Jackets with my daughter.
What's Yellow Jackets?
Yellow Jackets is awesome. It's a Showtime show, and it's split between 96 and 2001. And basically, this girls' soccer team, and it's so funny because I graduated in 96, so I can really identify with the 96 stuff. They're going to state, and their plane crashes in the Canadian wilderness, and they basically have like a Lord of the Flies type situation out there. And then it cuts to 2021. I'm watching the first season. I've already seen the first season, Ricky. And it cuts to 2021, and some of them are back and they've been rescued, and none of them will talk about anything. And it's kind of like, well, what happened out there? And it's wild. What's really cool is they got like Christina Ricci, Juliette Lewis, the chick who was in 2.5 Men as the crazy neighbor, as some of the survivors as adults, and they've got like their younger versions. They do a really good job with the two of them like together. It's a wild show, man. I've seen the first season. I just started rewatching it with my daughter though, and it's so good.
Real quick, John Ratcliffe in here. I was actually talking to him. I don't know what you call it through DMs, but it was on like Insta. You still call it that on Instagram? I don't know. But anyway, I was talking to him, and yeah, he's quite the recovery on that shoulder surgery, and I sure hope you start feeling better as soon as possible, John. That must suck.
Wow, I tried to post something with the word shit in it, and it failed to post.
In the chat?
Yeah.
That's weird because I only have 3 words blocked. And shit sure as hell ain't one of them. I don't know. 28 years later has gotten some good reviews.
Yeah.
I once again, I'm not that huge of a fan of the series in general.
I really like the first one.
Well, I'm not saying I won't watch it, but I'm kind of more excited now that the new trailers have dropped. I'm kind of excited for the new I Know What You Did Last Summer. Because now you can roll your eyes all you want, but if you were a young man in the 90s and I Know What You Did Last Summer comes out and Jennifer Love Hewitt and Sarah Michelle Gellar are in it, that's something you want to be watching.
Fair enough.
And I'll tell you what, so the new trailers are, I was originally under the impression that the new I Know What You Did Last Summer was going to be a remake. Like that's what I was under the impression it really had nothing to do, but it turns out they're keeping legacy characters. It's a sequel, just like the new Scream movies. And in the new trailer, you not only see Freddie Prinze Jr., who's one of the worst actors that ever existed, but you also finally see Jennifer Love Hewitt. And I popped huge. I was like, yes, I want to go see this movie. And me and the girls watched I Know What You Did Last Summer the other day, and I'm excited about it.
We went and saw the live action How to Train Your Dragon. It was pretty good.
I don't think I've seen
I had never seen any of them. I watched the cartoon one the night before, and I have to say I was impressed. They were pretty decent. They're worth your time with the kids.
John Ratcliffe coming in and posting news, so I appreciate that, John. Yes, I was definitely aware. My main thing in this whole situation is I don't want one U.S. soldier to die. I don't want any troops on the ground.
I don't think we should have gotten involved at all.
maybe not. I mean, once again, I definitely do think with a guy like Trump who sits here and says, America first, you need to stop. Everyone else used to say, America, stop being the world's police. And now Americans are saying it, both on the left and the right. Like,
well, my thing is, wasn't one of the big things no new wars? Not what we voted for. So I'm not happy about this.
With me, it is what it is. If no Americans were hurt and you hit the tactical military targets that were supposedly, once again, this could turn out to be a whole WMD thing again, like Iraq, where it's a complete crock of shit. But if they're really developing nuclear weapons, I'm not necessarily fully against
I agree
that.
with that, but I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot to take in right now.
Well, and a new war is a war. That's not just a strike. I mean, Obama did strikes, Biden did strikes, Bush did strikes. Everyone did strikes. Trump this is like his first real legitimate military action.
Yeah, we'll see.
And with all the other stuff that he promised during his campaign and he's coming through on, I'm willing to.
No, I agree.
Meet him in the middle.
I really don't want we don't need this headache right now. We need to fix America before we worry about other shit. But we'll see.
I agree with that. I can't argue there with you there, Maddie. Well, ain't that some shit? I don't know what that's.
Nonsense. Damn it.
I don't even know what that's in reference to.
Probably just being able to put the word shit in the chat.
Oh, and you couldn't, but maybe only Buffalo Bills fans can.
Maybe they're always trying to silence me. Damn it.
What's good, Chris? It's good to see you, man. I'm with Maddie, but we've completely crippled Iran's attempts at nuclear force. Iran can't fight back. They just lost their entire arsenal. They couldn't. They would never be able to fight back against us anyway. We're literally protecting Israel. Like that's it. And I don't think once again, I don't think that's our job anymore. Like Maddie said, it's like before we do anything to help or defend or whatever anyone else, let's fix everything here. So I am in agreement with that, like 100%. But yeah, so CJ Mosley, we talked about that. The last thing I wanted to talk about, Maddie, that involves the Jets, is did you see all the reports that came out about Malachi Corley, mine and Tommy's best friend?
We'll see. I mean, I believe that he's gonna have to have. I don't think the role's just his. I think that he'd better have an amazing training camp. I think genuinely, and I think that it's important that he goes out and establishes that he belongs in the NFL. So far, yeah. I mean, when you think about Malachi Corley, what do you think about? I mean, because I know YouTube, I think about that he blocked YouTube because he's silly and fragile. But I also think isn't this the same dipshit who had a touchdown wrapped up and dropped the ball outside the end zone?
Yeah, it's 2 strikes against him
in a touchback. I mean, I'm not pro or con, but all I can say is this dude better show something pretty impressive this year, because otherwise, so far, I mean, again,
not much.
All I can say is the dude hadn't even scored a touchdown when it was handed right to him.
Well, another thing is that I, of course, a friend of the show watched Ian Jet Central's take on it.
Oh, and I see that.
I kind of liked what he had to say, and his idea was like at least let him make the roster and at least give him a few kickoff or punt returns, see what he can do with the ball.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I give him his day in court, but he's not guaranteed anything right now.
No, definitely not at the wide receiver position.
No, and honestly, if I were him, I would be like my whole goal this offseason would be shut my mouth, play my game, and just get on the team and do some damage. That's it. So
yeah. No, I agree with that. I have, personally, I have a little bit of like distaste for Malachi Corley because he blocked me for no reason, like literally no reason. Yeah. All I did was tweet at him, "Hey man, unblock Tommy Jets. He's a great guy. He's a Jets fan." And I got blocked. Once again, was I doing that to see how soft he was? Yeah, probably. I like trolling people. It's fun. But it's like, I have a personal kind of towards him, but I'm not about just not giving him a chance.
Right.
You know, he needs to get his shot. We need to see what he can do, because the worst thing that could possibly happen is us drop him, someone else picks him up, and then all of
he
a
scores
sudden,
in buckets. Yeah.
yeah, and he's the Malachi Corley that we expected him to be when we drafted him. You know, because you remember everyone, the Yak King. Okay.
Like I say, he should just head down, handle business, and I hope that's what he does. Because I don't, he hasn't blocked me on Twitter that I'm aware of. So I don't know, but I just basically I don't have any real feelings for the guy, because so far I haven't seen anything that makes me even think about him. All I see is, okay, well, this is what you got going on, huh? All right. So I don't know. I hate that there isn't a Jets, like right now. There's really no Jets player that I am just enamored with. Like, I love Garrett Wilson and I love Breece Hall and all that, but I'm not motivated to go get anybody's jersey right now.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. Like, if you had to get someone's jersey who's a current player, who would it be?
Probably Garrett Wilson. I mean, I have one of the older jerseys of his. But I mean, probably Garrett Wilson or maybe Justin Fields, just to show a little love to the guy who I'm hoping has a good year. But I like right now, I genuinely, I did buy a Jets watch because they've outlawed smartwatches at my job. So
you have to wear one of those old school analog watches, or did you get a digital?
It's I forget what it's called. It's called the Combine watch. It's cool looking. But we're not allowed to have anything like an iPhone or iWatch or Apple Watch or even a Fitbit, because too many dipshits are in there with their fucking cell plans on them. They're just walking around talking on their watch like Dick Tracy, and it's like, you guys are so stupid.
Speaking of Dick Tracy, it's so funny you brought that up. Have I ever showed this on the show?
Nice.
Yeah, that's one of the original watches that kids bought when the Dick Tracy movie came out. I don't know.
I remember that movie.
Yeah, dude. I love that movie. Like, I have absolutely no problem.
In a long time, but I remember seeing it in the theater. I liked it.
Yeah, I just have a museum of 80s and 90s pop culture crap. And that's one of them. That's one of them right there in the box. A Dick Tracy two-way wristwatch is what it's called.
Yeah. Yeah, there's there's just nobody that I was thinking about this though, especially now that the Rangers are trading everyone I like to Anaheim. I think my days of buying jerseys are pretty much done. I don't think I'm going to buy any. I mean, the ones I have, I'll still keep around, but I'm just kind of whatever about it. I'll get t-shirts or whatever, but I think I'm kind of just done with jerseys. I'm old now. And
I think for me, and we'll continue this conversation, because I want everybody who's watching not only to hit that thumbs up, guys, hit that thumbs up. Let's do well tonight on thumbs up. It's free. But what I want you to do is go into the comments, and I see a few of you have already done it. Tell me whose Jets jersey on the current team that you would buy if you had to. But before I tell you, the few guys that I would have to, if I had to, I'd pick. Maddie, I think if you or I, if we wanted to buy a jersey, I feel like I'd do what I did 2 years ago, and I went and got one of the legacy Klecko jerseys.
Yeah.
I go back to when I was a kid and get a Gastineau, a Klecko, a Freeman McNeil, a Wesley Walker.
Yeah, I mean, I had that Sanchez jersey that I bought last summer.
Yeah, exactly. I'd get somebody from the past that already did something for us.
Yeah, somebody that I have fond memories of.
Correct. But for me personally, I agree with you. I think you'd have to kind of go towards Garrett Wilson. You know what? it really would depend on how he does this year, but I could picture a Will McDonald maybe. If he continues to play like he's playing. Look, I know Quinnen's the guy, but I really like Quincy. That's another one.
Jermaine Johnson's a good one. Dark Soldier threw that up.
Yes, there you go. Jermaine Johnson, Sherwood, great one. But Scott says, I will never buy a jersey. Well, some people don't. And they're way too expensive. Not only are they way too expensive now, but also they don't fit right. They fit all weird. When it was back with Starter and Reebok and Champion, they fit like football jerseys. They were all loose and whatever. Now they have weird.
Yeah, they're tight in the middle and all funky.
It's not as comfortable as it used to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a Goonies Never Say Die skull flag hanging in my backyard. That's
Nice.
awesome. I know, Dark Soldier, you've got to know it's the 40th anniversary of
Thank
the
you,
Goonies.
Clancy.
Literally just watched it the other day.
Yesterday was the 50th anniversary of one of my favorite movies, Jaws.
Yes, that was yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. We watched. I told you all. We watched the original. I Know What You Did last summer. By the way, real quick, while I'm mentioning that, yes, Chris, count me out on it. You know what? No, Chris, I want to know whose Jets jersey would you buy if you had to buy a Jets jersey? Let us know.
If I had to buy a Bills jersey, I'd get Scott Norwood's jersey for sure.
Well, of course. But that's trolling, Maddie.
Yeah, I mean, I get that one that's got the jersey that everything's on the right side, and
no, not trolling. If you had to get a Buffalo Bills jersey, who would you get?
Probably Thurman Thomas.
Okay, I was going to say Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly's a good one. Or Doug Flutie. I always like Doug Flutie. Flutie's a BC
Flutie,
boy.
Okay.
And if I had to get like a current, like, whatever, like, I'd probably, Josh Allen's fucking. He's a stud. You can't argue with that. So.
Clancy, Rocky Road,
Ruth,
baby Ruth.
But you know what's funny though? Goonies to me does not translate as like watching it as an adult. Watching it now, I absolutely cannot stand it.
Oh, I still.
The only part I like is the part where Corey Feldman is talking about talking to the maid in Spanish.
Oh yeah,
that shit still cracks me up. But the rest of it, I don't hate it, but I can't sit through it. It just doesn't work for me like as an adult as like it did when I was a kid.
It still just sticks with me, man. Every time I watch it, I feel like
I'm jealous. I wish it did because I loved it as a kid.
A Snowball says I just bought a jersey. Joe Namath. Yeah, that's the kind of thing. Yeah, that's what you kind of got to do as a Jets fan. One of my favorites is my Joe Namath jersey, and I got the green. I know they won the Super Bowl in the whites, but I'm always a green guy. I always like the green jerseys over the whites. But it is what it is. There you go. Dark Soldier says Bruce Smith. Yeah, exactly.
See, Dark Soldier gets it.
Oh yeah, you're right. Look at that.
It just doesn't translate as an adult. I love the concept and everything else. It's just, I don't know. I got old.
Who is Joe Hendry? Is that guy from like Wrestling TNA or something? John, I don't watch it anymore. Maddie never did. Wait till Mets comes on and ask him that. But if I'm right and I got that reference, you got to give me credit. You got to give me credit on that one. Oh, that's an idea. There you go. You get the Joe Namath Alabama jersey.
There you go. That'd be cool.
I have a Namath, a Klecko, and I got a Garrett Wilson and Quinnen for the current team.
Nice.
Yeah, those are all good. I got a bunch. Actually, today, remember I told you, like, I have so many things, like, in my garage still packed from when we moved in 7 years ago. I just found my Brett Favre jersey.
Nice.
And I just found my MetLife Stadium inaugural season shirt.
Nice.
So I almost wore that tonight.
Very cool.
Regardless. If I had to get a Buffalo jersey, I would not be a guy on the current team. It takes me a couple years, decades to be able to be okay with someone from one of these rival teams, like I could not wear like a Josh Allen. I would kill myself. I'd rather kill myself.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, if I were a Bills fan, I would hate to see me wearing a Bills jersey because it's just,
Well, did you used to make those? Did you used to make those bets in high school and middle school, like where if you don't have money to bet, so you bet the jerseys, and if you lose, you have to wear your friend's jersey of whatever team.
I bet a guy about 15 years ago on a Jets Broncos game that the loser had to wear a skirt and his team's jersey and take the other one out to dinner, and I had to wear my Jets jersey and a green skirt that I bought at Goodwill and take him out to dinner.
Oh boy!
Hey, I'm a man of my word. I didn't welch on the bet.
No, fair enough. Well, Lannister always.
Lannister pays his debts. But what was funny is the waitress thought I was adorable and chatted me up.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to answer this one. Maddie Lane wants to know how you feel about the Mets season.
I feel all right about it. I think here's the funny thing, ever since they showed the pride flag during the national anthem, the Mets have gone 0-7.
Yeah, 0-8.
No,
I heard
7.
0-8. Are
No,
you
'cause they're
sure?
winning tonight.
Oh, okay. I heard two weird stats. So
But
I heard the original stat where they said since Grimace showed up, the Mets have the most wins in the league. Like
I
if you
don't
look
know
at every single team in the league from the time Grimace showed up at Chase or not Shea at City Field,
City.
the
That
Mets
may be true.
and then I saw the one like you just mentioned
Well,
when they
here's
showed
the
the
thing,
pride flag.
and I was talking to my wife about that. One, I don't have a problem with gay folks. So all the shit on Twitter that's like retarded about that. But I will say this: baseball is a game that has a lot of superstitions in it. So you knew somebody was gonna bring this up. Now, I don't think it has anything to do with the gay community. I think it has to do with show the American flag during the national anthem.
Yeah.
So I think that I think they got taught a little lesson. And one of my best friends is a Braves fan. Boy, I haven't heard the end of it since. But baseball's a game all about superstitions. Everybody has a weird superstition for this, that, don't touch my glove. I put this sock on first, whatever. So you knew something was going to be brought up when they just went on a losing spree, and that got a lot of press. So, I don't know if it's true or not.
But that's the thing. It's like, did they not realize that they were going to get shit for throwing a fuck flag on the big screen while you're singing the national anthem? It's like, it's like you can fly your I have sex with people who are of the same sex of me flag. Because let's break it down. That's really that's all it is.
I don't have a problem with everybody having a flag or anything else, but when it's the national anthem, that does not need to be shown. That's not
just show the American flag. The American flag is unifying because we're all American.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Exactly. Exactly.
I get it. They're trying to be inclusive, but I think it really backfired on them. And it probably has nothing to do with anything, but you knew you were going to hear about it. So,
real quick, I just want to bring this up. And once again, if you guys haven't seen I Know What You Did Last Summer, the original, here's your motivation. I'm sorry, Maddie. That's why you watch the movie. That and Buffy. You can't say no to J Love and Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Well, there you go.
All right, I have someone waiting to come on. I can't wait to talk to him. He's always great, part of the Midnight Mike Show family tree. Ladies and gentlemen, Tommy Jets, how you doing tonight?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, I'm all right. Just following some of the geopolitical stuff that's going on, fun stuff. Not really, but
we already got into that on the show. I don't know if you saw it.
No, I wasn't able to. I was talking with a buddy of mine who, yeah.
Did you drink at all?
Yeah, I've been drinking. I'm drinking now. Yeah.
Tommy told me he was like, I'm drinking tonight, so I'll be on the show. I said, awesome.
All right, good man.
Hell yeah, and I also have I don't even think I took a sip of my drink, so I'm gonna have some vodka. Here, we'll all take it from this lady. I'm sure you all know the 2 shots of vodka lady. Let's check it out.
2 shots of vodka.
I want her poured for me at the bar.
That's what I'm saying, man.
2 shots. She was chugging it right down.
Like I say, when I pour my drinks, I give it a solid 11-second count. So
you got to do it.
1001, 1002, 1003. So.
Are you using a Stanley cup to hold your liquor? Because that's a lot of pour right there.
It's a big enough cup. I mean,
you got like a good beer mug? Or is it like one of the big like?
No, it's just a cheap plastic
ones?
fucking Walmart.
Yeah, that was a classic, bro.
So,
Tommy, I don't know if on Tuesday night we were talking before CJ Mosley retired. We were talking about how the reports had come out that he was keeping in touch with the linebackers and Quincy Williams, and he was taking them out to dinner and still, kind of like, helping them out, still being the leader that he was on the team. And now we find out that he's retiring, and we talked about it on Tuesday night. I said, if he doesn't want to, I mean, I'm sure he can get picked up by another team, but if he doesn't want to play anymore, we have to offer him something, some sort of job. Like, I don't care if you make it up. What are your thoughts? Can we get CJ Mosley in here on anything, like any coach or any scout or any whatever, just to keep that motivation and that positivity in the locker room?
Yeah, I would love to see that, especially if he's been like coaching up, Quincy and Sherwood and all these guys like beforehand. Because like, I mean, every player has their own like ceiling, but I think that Mosley really helped get those guys to like the point where they're at now. Because he's had injury issues since he's been with the Jets, so it's not like he was consistently on the field. So when he's off the field, he's training those guys a lot, and when he's on the field, he's also leading by example. I would love to see them get him in like uh, I don't know if like some type of an assistant role, whether it's helping with the linebacker group, just being an assistant coach, or maybe even going through the scouting route. That would be great if he wants to do that. Who knows what he wants to do, but if that's something he's interested in, man, why not? Because we've seen the improvements from the linebacker play.
And it's just so positive having him there.
Yeah,
he's just such a good guy, a good leader on the field. And I want to catch you up because we talked about a lot of stuff before you were here. Do you have any current Jets player jerseys?
Garrett Wilson.
Okay, that seems to be going around. It's because we were talking about how me and Maddie it's like we don't really want to buy any current players anymore. We've kind of gone past that. And if we're going to buy something, we're going to maybe get an old Gastineau or Klecko or name it or whatever. Aside from Garrett Wilson, if you had to get a current Jets player, who would you get?
Oh man, that's tough. Maybe Braylon Allen.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one.
I've been a fan of him for while he was in college and in high school and stuff. And other than that, like I like a lot of the other Jets guys, but not to the same extent right now. At least not yet. Who knows?
Did you see that? There was a graphic going around that it said most yards, in NFL history below a certain age. And I believe that for under 20, under 21, Braylon Allen has the record for most rushing yards in the NFL for being under 21.
Yeah, that was cool.
Pretty impressive. How many yards do we know? I don't know that off the top of my head. How many yards did he have last season?
I'm not sure. I can check that out.
Let's get that up. Let's figure that out.
334 yards.
Okay, so it wasn't like the craziest number to put up there, but it's still
not bad for a guy in like split time,
Yeah, and especially a guy, he's not even able to buy a beer at that point. But it's fair enough. Maddie, did you put up that? I don't know who put it up, and I feel like it was someone that I interact with. Did you put up that graphic of the 4 vampire movies? Which one do you like the most?
Yeah, and this dipshit had American Werewolf in fucking London as one of them.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's a werewolf movie.
There's no vampire. It was like, which one's your favorite vampire movie? And I was like, is this person fucking brain damaged?
Well, which one would you pick here?
Vampire movies?
Well, the ones we're seeing.
Or American Werewolf.
Oh, you pick American Werewolf over Fright Night?
Werewolf is so good.
Dude, Fright Night is one of my favorite.
Fright Night's
movies.
Classic. Don't get me wrong, but if I had to pick out all 4 of those movies, I'd take American Werewolf. But of the 3 vampire movies, Fright Night is 100%.
Okay.
I guess they're doing a prequel of some sort, whether it's a novel or something.
To what?
It's to Fright Night, and it's set like in the 70s in New York or something. I don't know. I've been trying to get any info I can get on it, but it's pretty sparse. But I think it's a novel.
Okay, if it's a novel, it's workable. Because I was going to say, if it's a film, the only way that would work is if you CGI and early Chris Sarandon. Yeah, but he wouldn't even need to. He wouldn't even need to look any different. He could look how he looks in Fright Night, but he couldn't.
Yeah, but you still have to. Yeah, so I don't know, but it's one of those things again. As a fan of Fright Night, I'm trying to keep an eye on it. Dark Soldier says 30 Days of Night is underrated. I 100% agree with you. I've met the author of that, Steve Niles. I have a signed copy, and I'm a big fan of the first one.
Dark Soldier, what does this mean? I'm 45. I rarely wear jeans or shorts. I'm not wearing a sports jersey. I only wear jeans and shorts.
Yeah, that's
what are you saying here, buddy? Like that's all I own.
Here and there.
No, seriously, my wardrobe has not changed from the time I was born till now. I wear jeans or shorts, and I wear like a t-shirt, and that's basically my attire, and a hat every day. It's just what I do.
That's been me, except with the hoodie, man. I literally every day, almost every, like it could be 90 degrees out, I'm wearing a hoodie. It could be 10 degrees out, I'm wearing a hoodie.
Vampire movie with Lance Hendrickson and Bill Paxton. What's the name? I don't know.
Pretty sure it's John Carpenter's Vampires.
Is it? I don't know if I've
Either
seen
that
it.
or what's the other one? It's one of the two. It's like
Bill Paxton is one of the funniest. If I'm thinking of the right guy, was Bill Paxton in the beginning of Titanic, and then he was also in. He also was the main character in the show
Near
Big Love.
Dark is the movie. Near Dark, couldn't think of it. Yeah, Near Dark was solid, dude. That was a great little movie.
Am I thinking of the right person though? Bill Paxton.
I watched Titanic once, and I'll never do it again.
Did you ever watch the show Big Love?
No.
Oh, dude, you got to watch Big Love.
Is it good?
It's really good. It's you know what it's about, right?
Mormons.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's basically about a Mormon family where Bill Paxton's the dad. He has 3 wives. They all live in 3 houses right next to each other, and their backyards all connect. But each family lives in a different house, and he spends a different night with each wife. But they're kind of built in
like hell to me.
Oh, I agree. When you think about it, when you first think, hey, you know they have 3 wives, you're like, hell yeah. And then you go 2 minutes into thinking about it, and you're like, ooh,
yeah, actually,
yeah, hard no on that one.
I need that shit. Like if you're 19 and you have 3 girls that you're seeing, cool.
Completely different, yeah.
It's completely different than wife.
yeah.
Completely different than wife. Paxton was Chet in Weird Science. I think he was also one of like the punks in Terminator, the original Terminator.
I think that killed by a Predator, an Alien, and a Terminator.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, Dark Soldier brought that up, but yeah, it's true.
Oh yeah, you're right. There it is. Sorry, I missed that Dark Soldier. Bill Paxton is the only person to be killed by the Terminator.
He was great in Predator 2. I'm a fan of Predator 2. Very disappointed that LA did not turn out like that in 1996, as we were promised when Predator 2 came out in 1992.
Oh, is that one where Predator goes and like there's like the LA riots or whatever?
Yeah, I expected Jamaican gangs all over the place, and I've been disappointed ever since.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Tommy, what do you think of our new kicker, the thicker kicker?
I love him, man.
Hey, Mavis.
Dude, hey, I looked at his UFL stats, and me and Maddie, once again, we talked about this on Tuesday night. Why not bring it up again? But when you look at it, and you can judge any position, right? Like if you're saying a UFL quarterback or a UFL lineman or a UFL wide receiver, you could always say, well, they're playing against other UFL players. It's not really a kicker.
Yeah, it's different.
It's the same everywhere.
Yeah,
exactly. You know, and his stats were, and once again, I have them written down. I don't have them memorized. He was 95%. He was 3rd in points in the UFL, 20 for 21. He was 5 for 6 from 50 plus and 8 of 8 from 40 plus.
Gotta like that, man.
Me too. It's like, I just hope that green Jets curse doesn't come and just kick the shit out of him, because we could have a good kicker here.
It's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, he looks like the Michelin Man, but if anybody remembers the Michelin Man, but still, it's like he could be as beefy as he wants if he's putting him through those uprights.
Yeah, I don't give a shit as long as you do your job. After watching that debauch that was our kicker last year, put the fucking ball through the uprights. I don't give a shit if you kick with a peg leg.
Can you imagine that?
Dude, if we had Long John Silver as our kicker, I'd be fine with it.
Hold on, we almost had that. They almost had that with Tom Dempsey.
I just remember back in the day. Remember the barefoot kickers of the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but Tom Dempsey had half a foot and like half a right arm, and he kicked the longest field goal in NFL history at 63 yards at the time. He played for the Saints. Like that's fucking crazy. He had like a half foot. Now maybe that helped. Who knows?
Football was way different back in the day.
Well, of course. Maddie's so bored.
No, I'm dying, dude. I'm so fucking exhausted. I'm gonna go to work.
Scott says I would grab a handful of dirt when he must be watching behind on the stream, because he's going all the way back to when me and Maddie were talking about superstitions in like baseball and football. But he says he grabs a handful of dirt when he went into the batter's box and rubbed down the bat handle every time.
There you go.
I think the only thing I did when I played baseball, and it wasn't even a superstition, it was just something that became, is I always did the thing with the batter glove.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You just make sure they're tight.
I just prayed to Christ that I didn't hit into a double play.
I never did that. My balls just always ended up over the left field wall.
I'm sure they did.
That was my spot. I found out I did it once, and I said, you know what? I should do that every time. And the coach was like, yeah,
it's a good idea. Work on that.
That's funny. Porky Beavis, our kicker. Yeah.
Hey, like I say, if he can do the job, I do not care. I feel like I'm starting this season as like a brand new fan, where like I'm like, okay, well, I just picked this team. Like
and we can tell you made the wrong choice.
Oh, believe me. That's why it always cracks me up whenever it is like, oh, you're a Jets fan. Like the one thing about being a Jets fan is you will never be accused of being a bandwagon fan.
Yeah, honestly.
No
Most
one's
people
ever going to sign up
apologize
for
to
this
you.
shit show.
No, they're like, oh, I'm so sorry.
What's going to suck is if they ever actually do win the Super Bowl, all the fucking bandwagon Jets fans, like we're going to be the worst gatekeepers of Jets football. Be like, hey, man, you're a Jets fan? Yeah, motherfucker. What number did Gastineau wear?
Well, they can look that shit up, but the problem is
Not
that
right in front of me. They can't.
No, but you do have a lot of people who like Mets, or I mean, Bobby Midnite basically is a Jets content creator, and he's a Giants fan.
Yeah, that's sort of weird.
So it's like there are people who jump on, but it's better to jump on when we suck.
Yeah, well, I can respect you if you jump on the sinking ship versus, I mean, it's like how many Patriots jerseys looked brand fucking new for so many years? Like it's like Golden State Warriors jerseys like 10 years ago. My, that's a shiny fucking Steph Curry jersey. Where's your Latrell Sprewell Golden State jersey?
Yeah,
it's
good point. Well, I once again, I could have if someone was, oh, you bandwagon fan, I used to be able to pull out my jerseys like my Sam Darnold, but I burnt that one.
Yeah.
So it's
the Pennington and Lavernius Coles jerseys that I have, they don't even look like they're made of the same material. Like not even close. You know what I mean? Like it looks like the jerseys you got in high school.
Yeah, I got my Pennington jersey. I think it's in storage still. But
Jared Lorenzen was a 285 QB in the NFL. Anyone remember him? We talked about it on Tuesday night. We actually brought up pictures of him, and then I found out that he was dead.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he died at like 38.
Pretty young.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Now,
although I guess I'm a bandwagon Anaheim fan now.
Yeah, you are, because you bought a Ducks hat.
Because all my fucking boys get traded to that fucking franchise. I'm just waiting for Jimmy Vesey to sign there this summer.
I still don't understand it, Matty. Like I don't get, like, if like I said, and I said this before to you, if like Luke Hughes and Markstrom and a few of the other guys from the Devils got traded to another team, I'm not going to go buy that team's hat. I'm going to hate that fucking team.
Yeah, well, like I say, man, I don't like the Rangers management. So, and the thing is out here, it's probably, I mean, the Ducks come here at least twice a year, I think. So I can go and I could take my wife, who's a big Avalanche fan, and we can go to an Avalanche Ducks game, and I'll actually have something to root for.
I mean, I guess. Why wouldn't you make the Avalanche your second team? You're in Denver.
And just not my second team. I'm cool with them. Like I say, I root for them if they're not playing the Rangers. But
wait, so are the Ducks your second team?
Ducks are like my third team. Calgary's my second team.
Okay, all right, because the Ducks are my second team.
I'll root for the Ducks. I mean, like I say, the Ducks are kind of like harmless. They don't really bother me. And again, I'm a huge Pat Verbeek fan. He's their general manager. I actually have a Verbeek Rangers jersey hanging in the closet.
It's actually crazy because I have a secondary team in every sport.
Right.
And I have had two of my favorite two teams meet each other in the championship games in my lifetime. The Devils played the Ducks, and the Devils won. So works for me because that's my number one. And the Yankees played the Phillies, and the Yankees won. So if my two favorite teams ever play each other in a championship, Super Bowl, World Series, whatever,
your head's just going to explode.
Well, no, it's already happened, but the team I like more always wins. So
well, yeah, that's the thing. Like I always tell people, like I'll root for whoever, whatever. But if the Rangers are playing whoever, I'm always rooting for the Rangers. If the Jets are playing whoever, I'm always rooting for the Jets. I never root for a tank or anything like that. But like I say, being an East Coast fan of most teams, living out west, it's kind of weird because it's kind of like there's a lot of games going on where I'm like, I just hope everyone has fun. Like Like if you know, like the Utah Mammoth play, you know, the Avalanche, I guess I'll root for the Avalanche, but I'm not like upset or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't have a real vested interest versus, you know, it's kind of nice because you can just kind of enjoy a game. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
yes,
you
absolutely.
can just chill and be like, yeah, man, I'm here for the beer and the sports, you know?
Well, whenever my wife's gone, especially if she's out for the day, or sometimes her and the girls will go, whatever. Like a couple weeks ago, they were taking care of my in-laws' dogs, and they were staying over at the house. When they're gone, like I'll look for a game. Like
Yeah,
I don't care what sport it is. I don't care
there's
whatever.
a day
But
baseball game on. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
I guess I really want to watch
any kind of sport
Anaheim
where
and
I can
fucking
sit and
Texas.
just and I could just sit there and
Yeah.
just enjoy it without someone being like, "Oh, sports is on again." Yeah, boom. I'm watching sports. When the family's away, that's what's on my television. So
Yeah.
Dark Soul just he must be somewhere near you. He says you are probably the closest Jets content creator near me.
Yeah, he's in Salt Lake.
Salt Lake City Punk.
Like I said, I'm planning actually on my brother and I plan on road tripping out there to go see a Mammoth game.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love the fact, and I don't know, I never, my memory's failing me, but did we talk about, I don't know who I talked about it with, whether it was with Tommy or you, but I love the fact that when they created this new, once again, should have been the Yeti, but
I would have liked Yeti better myself, but
yeah, but the Mammoth logo, we brought it up on the screen, and there a lot of thought went into it. You could see the state of Utah in it. You could see the Rocky Mountains. The horns make the U. Like it's a cool fucking logo. But I like the fact that they kept their away jersey like the Utah Hockey Club, so that it kind of like melds just flawlessly into the new team.
Yeah, like I say, and I kind of root for Utah teams just because, you know, Utah, man, give them some love. I mean, I hate the Jazz, but that's because I'm a Nuggets fan. But John Stockton's still one of the most amazing basketball players that doesn't get nearly enough credit that he should have.
Does he? I thought he does. Dude, he was a USA basketball on the Dream Team.
When you ask people to name anybody on the Dream Team, it goes Jordan, Magic, Bird. Stockton always gets like forgotten about. Believe me.
But I think of Stockton pretty quick in that lineup because he was one of two white guys.
Again, your shit is racially motivated. I'm talking about sports.
Not racially motivated. I'm looking, and there's these two marshmallows.
God help us if there's ever a good white basketball player. Fucking great white hope over here. Fucking lose his mind.
Mike,
what's really funny is when you look up like other players talking about John Stockton, they're always like, this motherfucker is the real deal. Like I forget who it was, but he was talking about like, he's like, I was telling some rookie on the team, I was like, you see that motherfucker just got out of that minivan with 4 kids? He's cold as ice. And he was, dude. I mean, led the league in steals for 1,000,000 years.
Yeah.
I mean, dude was just a fantastic player. And it just always sucked that he was on the Jazz because this was back when the Nuggets were a god-awful team.
Well, him and Malone complemented each other so well.
Shit out of the Nuggets, yeah. And Malone is such a terrible human being.
Yeah.
But
he is.
The guy
great ball player.
You know, and that's the thing. That's why I always tell people, Johnny Boy, good call on Chris Mullin, by the way.
Oh yeah, he was the other white guy.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I love the white guys.
I know you do.
But the funny
real
thing
reason
is,
the show's going short tonight is he's got a clan meeting to go to after.
No, but the funny thing is that Bird was the greatest white player ever to exist, and there will never be another.
And he was the best trash talker ever to play the game.
Oh, well, yes, period.
Nobody talks shit better than fucking Bird.
But there is never going to be a white player in the NBA that it will ever come close to.
I disagree. I'm sure somebody will. I just don't see it that way.
In 30 to 40 years, has anyone even come close?
Eventually, it'll happen.
Yeah, right.
Mark my words.
Johnny Boy being dirty. Would you rub one out before a game so you can have a better handle to grip the wood, or is that just a me thing?
I don't need there to be a game for that. I'm like, is it Thursday already? Oh, let's go.
Is it a day that ends in Y?
Yeah, exactly.
There it is.
I wake up today, it's done. But yeah, I mean, it's like I say, dude. It's funny though, like reading and like talking about all those old school players from like the '90s. Man, those guys were fucking such badasses.
Yeah.
Well, that's when I mean, that was the last time I watched it. The game has completely changed.
It
It's
is a totally
so
different game.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody was saying, like, somebody posted something about how LeBron could never have made it in the 90s, but Jordan couldn't play in today's era. And I'm going,
Yeah,
I'm
Jordan
pretty
would be a
sure Jordan would be an
monster.
Yeah.
absolute force in this day and age, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it would also depend. It would also depend on what rules you play. Because imagine Larry Bird.
The game was definitely called differently back then.
Yeah, imagine Larry
Yeah.
Bird with 80s rules coming in and playing today. He would literally kill everybody.
Yeah.
Like and LeBron would be flopping all over the place and crying and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, Bird would be like, "Get a bitch."
Yeah, I don't know. I do think it's funny that apparently the WNBA is just turning into fucking pro wrestling now.
Dude, did you see? Oh my god, I think her name.
Everybody saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one
Over
girl
and
laid,
over and over.
She just laid that girl out.
And it's like, I get it. I mean, first of all, fair play to her for actually standing up for a teammate. I respect that.
Yeah, someone finally did.
But like, no one cares. Like, I don't care. Like, no one cares.
Still the WNBA.
You know, like it seems like they're just trying so hard to get us to pay attention to it. And I'm like, dude, it's fine. Like, I respect it. Good on you for standing up for your teammate, but like, nobody cares.
Dude, and now they're like trying to like. Have you seen that they're doing like certain photo shoots now where they're dressed in like lingerie and like skimpy stuff? Where before
I haven't.
Dude, I mean, I'm not gonna complain, but at the same time, like, they were very strongly against that and pushed back against that forever, and now they're just completely. It's like they're getting kind of desperate with other.
My biggest thing is why are they letting all these players basically just cheap shot the bejesus out of Caitlin Clark, who is
she's the one bringing
golden
in money.
goose for that league. If she said fuck this, I'm going to go play in Italy and make more money, that league is in real trouble. I mean, they're already not doing great, but they're fucked if she decides to leave.
My question though is there's like 90% of that league I don't want to see in lingerie. If I'm being honest.
I mean, yeah,
that's fair.
You know, you can put lipstick on a bulldog all you want, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to be attracted to it. Once again, I haven't seen these pictures, so maybe there are.
They're not bad. They're not bad.
What do I do? What do I do? What do I look up so that later when I'm getting ready to
for science?
Yeah.
Honestly, if you just look up the girl's name, I'm sure you'll find it.
What girl's name?
The Caitlin's new enforcer.
Oh, it was her specifically.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's been others, but she's the most recent one.
Okay, I'll check it out. Did Caitlin Clark are her and Caitlin Clark going to do like a photo shoot together? That might get me interested.
Yeah,
I don't see that happening.
I wouldn't complain.
No, that'd be.
I don't think Caitlin Clark is going to really mess with that. She doesn't have to. I mean, let's be honest. I don't pay attention to the WNBA, but I can tell you right now, if Caitlin Clark decided to go play like in Russia, like Brittany Griner used to do, and she probably wouldn't bring weed with her, she'd make a fortune. She'd make any of those European leagues would probably triple her WNBA salary.
Yeah.
Everybody hit that like button. Do me a favor. It's free. Oh, frig. I meant to do the whole thing this week and next week, trying to do get 10. If I get 10 gifted channel memberships, I'll gift 10. And now we're already getting close to the end here because I got to go early tonight. Son of a bitch. Oh, that only leaves one more.
We do have one more announcement to make.
Yeah, we do. Okay, fair enough. You know what? Alex isn't even in here. She was the one specifically asking. But Maddie and my reviews of a review retrospective of the Friday the 13th series continues Monday night live, 9 p.m.
I'd rather do 8.
I don't think I can do 8. Well, it'll be announced on Monday, but it's happening Monday.
Yeah, well, it'll be Monday evening.
Monday evening, Maddie and me are back, and we are going to be doing a retrospective review of Friday the 13th, Part 2, Sackhead Jason. So please join us for that. I usually have some visual aids to accompany it, just like if we're talking about something or a character, I can pop them up.
And my favorite final girl in the series.
Duh, you're spoiling way too much, Maddie.
Well, I've said it before. Everyone knows.
I know, but
I even yelled at you on Twitter about your calls.
No, well, you also didn't understand. Okay, that question when it was for those who don't know, it was a meme of all the Final Friday girls from the first one to the reboot, Freddy versus Jason, and all of them. And it said it said which final girl would you save? It didn't say, Maddie, which Friday girl would you want fighting alongside of you?
You're right. Okay.
Okay. I picked the two I thought were the hottest: Trish from part 4 and Megan from part 6.
Who's the one at the bottom in the middle? Who's that?
I don't know. Hold on. I actually do have Twitter.
I pulled it up just because
do you have that list?
Do that. Replies too much.
And to be fair, by the way, the picture they have of Trish is terrible.
The one with her hair's all wet and she looks all
she just looks like shit. She's a very attractive girl. Here, you know what? Here.
Yeah, pull it up.
I'll pull it up. All right. Let's share the screen. And for those of you, let's see here. Okay, here we go. There they are. So you got Alice here, you got Ginny, you got I forget her name. Then you got Trish, Megan, Laura Lincoln, who was Tina. Then you have the chick who's in Home Improvement as like his sister-in-law from part 8. Then you have that's Monica Keena, who was in Freddy versus Jason.
Is that where she's from? Okay.
Yeah, and then this one is the girl from the reboot who was one of the main like returning characters on the OC, and I forget her name.
So you got these two.
I got these two right here. Now, once again, this picture of Trish,
yeah,
that's a really bad picture.
Yeah, does not do her justice. But Maddie, what did you say? Ridiculous, Ginny and Tina. Okay, yeah. Now Ginny was able to use her mind to fuck with Jason, and
Ginny
Tina,
100% the smartest final girl in the whole series.
And then Tina over here was the one who could like telekinetically. She was like 11 from Stranger Things. She could like attack Jason with her mind.
Carrie. I mean, the whole premise of part 7 was Freddy versus Carrie.
To be fair, I think the hottest are part 3, 6, 4, and Monica Keena.
She's really pretty. I didn't recognize her.
Not that they're all not pretty girls. I mean, once again, I'm not going to sit here and
everyone has their own,
But I mean, you also compare this picture versus this picture. She's all done up and all dolled up. She looks like she just got out of the shower.
Yeah, even Ginny. Yeah, Ginny looks like she's been.
I love Ginny, dude. Ginny just looks like she's. I just think she's so awesome as a final girl, dude. She's smart. You know, she figured out to put. I mean, all she needed to do was knock that head off that podium, and she'd have been golden. But we will talk about that Monday.
Dark Soldier, I agree. 100%.
I'm a Leatherface guy, but all right.
That's my favorite series.
Oh, I like Leatherface too.
I see. For me, the whole Leatherface and the whole family is like just they don't make any sense to me. They're so incomprehensibly insane that you have nothing to like really deal with. You know what I mean? Jason, he's out there avenging his mom. He's crazy. Freddy, he's a child molesting murderer, and Michael Myers is just the shape of evil. He's just pure blackness in his soul. Leatherface, you're like. You almost pity Leatherface because he's just trying to be a good dog for the family. Like, there's a lot to work with and none of it makes sense. And there's just something terrifying about that whole fucking situation to me.
The problem is that I don't think I like Leatherface. And
I like all of them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disparaging anybody. It's just,
the only problem I have is that it's one of the weakest series of movies.
Yeah. But it's also the first. And so, the thing is, like, the first one's great. The second one is fun in its own right, but it's kind of like, all right. And then that third one went completely insane, but was still fun. And then the fourth one with Matthew McConaughey and the hydraulic leg and that whole thing.
And Renee Zellweger. Wasn't she in it too?
Who the hell is Renee Zellweger? Well, yeah, she was in it. And then the reboots I thought were just ridiculous, but fun in their own right.
I'm sorry, dude. That 2003 one with Jessica Biel, man.
You just like Jessica Biel.
I do like Jessica Biel, but I also
think, blame him.
No, but hold on. It's like in the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface was a lot smaller, and he was very clumsy, just falling all over the place, looking like. Meanwhile, he comes in the reboot. He's a fucking monster.
Yeah, but I mean, they took over the whole town.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Come on, man.
I think everyone was more part of the family.
No, there was 5 of them, and they took over the whole town and killed everybody.
That's okay. There's a problem there.
Whatever. We have differences of many opinions on these, which is why it's fun to talk about it.
Good luck, Chuck and Larry. Jessica Biel is unreal. Yes, she is.
Yes.
But no, when we talked about it, it's like, God, like some of these girls from back in the day, like the Jessica Biel's, the Jennifer Love Hewitt's, the what's Buffy's real name? Sarah Michelle Gellar. I mean, those were the 90s, early 2000s girls, man. Woo.
Yep.
I mean, and I could even go back to the 80s. There's a bunch of Valerie Bertinelli, and I liked Molly Ringwald, Phoebe Cates. Oh, I loved
Marky
Phoebe
Post
Cates.
any day of the week.
Who?
Marky Post.
Who's Marky Post?
How do you not know these things?
Is that how you spell it?
Markiepost. She was Christine on Night Court. She was in The Fall Guy.
What about her? She looks like a mom.
You're an idiot.
Oh.
Maybe I'm not seeing. Okay, here's her a little younger. Yeah, I mean, once again, she's good.
This is a very, very much the difference between my age and your age.
No, because I mean, you put her up against Phoebe Cates. Like, let's be honest here. Phoebe Cates is much hotter.
You're on your own there, Holmes. But this is the difference between those of us that graduated in the 90s and those of us that graduated in the new millennium.
I'm 99.
Yeah, but if you hadn't gotten held back.
What the fuck, man? You're like 99. I made it.
We're rounding up there. Anyways.
Just want to check. Chris is back. Good to see you, Chris.
There he is.
I don't know where he went for a while, but that's okay. Real quick. Okay, but Maddie, before you go.
Yeah.
I figured you'd like this one. Real quick. Let's throw this up just because I saw this on I forget what page it was, but we're never going to see this again. And this is the pessimistic Jets fan coming out in me. We're never going to see this again, ever. Look at what it says there. Vinny Testaverde. What does it say under that?
Wow. Wouldn't that be nice?
12-1 as a starter this season.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I'm telling you, if anyone ever doubts the Vinny, I'm going to just always bring this graphic up.
I remember those days.
And someone else made a wise ass comment like, who the fuck could ever beat the Florida Panthers? They're just unbeatable. Well, I give you this. This was this year.
Yeah, that's nice, but it ain't in the playoffs.
No, you're right. You're right. But it's there. But this is what I wanted to show you, Maddie. I need to get, you're an old school NES guy. Those old school NES games that were like Nintendo branded.
Uh-huh.
Which one do you pick if you could only pick one?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Oh, shoot.
Ooh.
10-yard fight, baseball, duck hunt, excite bike, golf, Hogan's Alley, kung fu. What is that, gunman?
Wild Gunman.
Wild Gunman. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I mean that depends. I mean, if I'm going with the blaster with the gun, you got to go with duck hunt just because it's a classic. I mean, we all wanted to shoot that fucking dog. But I'd probably go with kung fu or excite bike.
Okay, Tommy, do you have a preference? Do you know these games? I know you're young. Now you want to talk young Maddie. Here's young Tommy. That's what we'll start calling him. Young Tommy.
I played NES. I was a duck hunt guy. Excite Bike was fun. It was very fun too. And the golf game.
Yeah. So check it out.
That was before they figured out how to make a decent football game or baseball game. Like Tecmo Bowl, I think, was kind of the revolutionary. I mean, it was still ridiculous, but it was still fun. You know, you could run up and down the field with Bo Jackson all over the fucking place in Tecmo Bowl.
Oh yeah, I got something on my phone that I play now. It's called Retro Bowl, but it's like college football, and you can play. It's very similar vibes. Nice. Very good time to play around the toilet.
The one I would pick is I don't watch it, I don't play it, but my favorite game on here is golf.
Oh yeah,
I
used to play. There used to be a computer game back in the day called Mean 18, and it had a little beaver come up and everything is a little nod to Caddy Jack. And I used to love that game, and I hate golf, but I'll play golf video games all day long. They're fun.
Golf video games are so much fun, and then watching golf, it's just like watching paint dry.
Oh yeah, I mean, I like. The worst is when people try to talk about fucking golf and yeah, man, just see Mickle. I'm like, I hate you. I will always hate you.
To be fair, like I'm not a golfer. I don't like watching golf, but in the times that I did sit down to watch golf, because like my grandfather loves golf, plays golf, everything. And if you were at his house and he was either watching
Golf
the
is
Yankees,
on.
well, he was either watching the Yankees or golf. And if you didn't want to watch those things, well, shit out of luck.
Outside.
Yeah, so I would sit down, and if he was watching golf, I would literally just look in the middle of the leaderboard, like the first. Obviously, I'm not the second screen where they go to like 25 to 50.
Right.
Like you
I
look in the
respect
middle.
golf people who play golf. I understand it takes a lot of talent. Don't get me wrong. It's just not something I can watch.
Well, what I would do is I'd just pick somebody there somewhere in the middle.
That was your guy.
And and then I'd find myself getting into it because you're like, oh, he's now he's -3. He was at -1 a little while ago. Oh, he's moving up. So
I mean, if sports is on and you got nothing to do, you'll watch whatever. I mean, I think I speak for all of us when it comes down to just sitting there with nothing to do and somebody's watching golf. You'll watch golf, but you're certainly not going to go seek out golf.
Yeah. Oh no. Nope. Once again, we talked about this earlier. If my wife's gone and there's no other sport on and golf's the only thing on, what's going to be on. I'm going to watch some golf.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
All right. Yeah. Well, that said, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to try and go to work tonight. We'll see if I make it through the shift. But anyways, good night, guys. See us Monday night for our Friday the 13th thing, unless I'm too sick to do it, in which case we'll make that announcement. But I think I'm on the mend. I just sound like shit. And that's it, Tommy. Good to see you. You boys and girls, have a good night. And I will talk to you on the flippity flop.
Absolutely. Have a good night, Maddie. Feel better. Maddie dealing with the COVID, and I don't know if any of you know this, but and he had no problem. He tweeted about it, but Sean Neutron, our resident Vikings correspondent, unfortunately his parents were on vacation, I guess in Ohio. I don't know why he'd go on vacation to Ohio, but all that aside, his parents were in a pretty bad car accident, and they're okay. His dad is actually pretty fine. His mom broke a lot of ribs, but is on the mend, is doing well. And so he did post about it on Twitter at Sean Neutron. So if you can get over there on Twitter, if you follow him on Twitter, you'll see that post. Send some love, show him your support. He drove up to Ohio. That's where he is right now, helping take care of his parents who are in the hospital. And hopefully hopefully they'll be released and be able to go home by Monday. So I just wanted to shout him out and let him know that we are thinking about him. Apparently Trump's address. Oh, I'm going to have to watch this. Trump's address interrupted the game. 10-4 Mets. Well, if it's 10-4, who the fuck cares? Like if it was like a 3-3 game going into the 9th, and then the president comes on, then you're annoyed. Mets, you are so behind. We knew this an hour and a half ago. Come on, buddy. Old news. But yeah, no, he probably I feel like usually don't presidents usually wait till after like 10 or whatever to do one of these like interrupt regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah, he said, oh yeah, actually I forgot that was going on. I wanted to see that. Shoot, I'm gonna have to catch up on that too.
Yeah, I feel like that's a normal thing for a president to interrupt later in the evening. Because even when Obama interrupted for killing Osama bin Laden, I feel like that was later in the evening. Because it was like it was late into that Mets Phillies game. That was the only game going on, and it's another Mets Phillies game.
Holy shit! Is it really?
Maybe presidents just wait for the Mets and Phillies to be playing to do crazy shit.
Holy shit! You're right. That's
weird, right?
Yeah, that's weird, man. I don't believe in coincidences either. That's weird.
I think the Mets and the Phillies need to watch what they're doing because I think we can blame all of the world's problems on the Mets and the Phillies.
Hey, as a Yankees fan, I am okay with that.
We're okay with that.
Yeah.
That's funny. That is pretty funny.
Yeah. So you were saying how you when you used to sit around watching the golf and you'd pick a guy like on the middle screen to kind of
somewhere in the middle. I didn't want to immediately put the guy in the lead.
Kind of like subconsciously rooting for the underdog, that's probably, I think that's one of the reasons why I picked the Jets, and in hockey, that's why I ended up picking the Penguins. Because when I became a Penguins fan, it was before Crosby, obviously. When they had, oh my God, I'm gonna forget so many names, but it was It was like mid '90s, and they were really, really bad then. They were really bad. They had a lot of good players though.
Today I was at the hardware store and I was wearing my Hartford Whalers hat. And a guy,
Oh, really?
yeah, the guy, of course, was like, "Oh, the Whalers," And I had to explain to him. I said, "I'm from Jersey." I said, "I'm a Devils fan." I said, "But even as a kid, before I even moved here, I always liked the Hartford Whalers because I like the underdogs." Like I told him, I said, "I'm a Jets fan." I was like, so I always respected Whalers fans for sticking with a team that was just perennial underdogs. And so like if I was playing like an NHL game, when I was a kid, and like, there were other Devils fans and Rangers fans, but if I was playing against another Devils fan and he picked the Devils before I could, I'd always play as the Whalers. Like I always liked the Whalers. But yeah, no, I am so happy that I'm a Yankee fan and a Devils fan, because if I was one of these guys, and I know a lot of you guys are out there who are Jets, Mets.
Oh my God, Knicks.
Nets.
Oh, Nets are worse.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there, and it's just for me, and then throwing the Islanders. Like, God damn.
Just rooting for consistent misery is awful. That sucks.
Yeah, that's got to be tough, because like I've got to see a lot of championships, more than most people. I saw the Yankees win 5. I saw the Devils win 3. I've seen the Devils go to 5. I've seen the Yankees go. I couldn't even count how many the Yankees have been to in my lifetime where I watched them. So that really helps, keep the pain of the Jets' misery to a minimum, or at least as minimum as it could be.
Yeah, no, completely. That's how I feel with the Pen. And the Devils are always my number 2, because my friend who got me like into hockey, that was his team. You know what I mean? So like we'd go against each other because all the time. I remember actually playing. I think it was on was it Super Nintendo or was it first PlayStation? I can't remember what game it was. We used to just play that sucker all the time, man. Oh my God, the old systems were so fun to just play hockey games. I love hockey games.
Well, if I that graphic I brought up of all those old Nintendo games.
Yeah.
If ice hockey was on there, that would have been my number 1.
That would have been sick. Yeah,
I used to play that all the time. I was always USA. I always played Russia, and I always kicked the shit out of them.
You had to, bro. You had to.
Nah, Chris, you're with me, man. Devils, Yankees, Jets. There you go. Oh, Ricky, you know what? We're ending the show early tonight. I got a 10-hour overtime shift, but I will put it in for you. 100%. Hold on. Here we go. We just won't have as much time as we did on like Tuesday night. But there you go. Sorry, Ricky. I got completely distracted. It happens. And I have no problem if you or Lane or Mets or someone reminds me. I have no problem. But there it is. So Ricky, feel free to call in, because like the name of this show is a Unify under Glenn. And I opened the show, Tommy, basically saying like there's a lot of pessimistic Jets fans out there. I'm one of them. And then there's a lot of optimistic Jets fans out of there. Ricky's one of them. Who else did I name as an optimistic? I gave like 2 or 3 examples of both. But the thing I think we need to do is just the story of Aaron Glenn being a Jets player, but not just being a Jets player. He was a Pro Bowl player. He played with us many years, was an outstanding cornerback for this team. And then to have him go through after retirement, he scouted for us, but then he also went through the coaching ladder, moving up till finally he was the defensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions. And now his first head coach position, boom, with his old team, with the Jets. The Jets, we're so used to getting, I've said it before and I'll say it again, kicked in the nuts. When is it going to be our time? I think a good story would be if our time was now. And I'm not saying this season we're going to be amazing, but I'm saying Aaron Glenn, let's get behind him. Let's watch him grow. Let's hope he gets 6-7 wins this year. Then next year, 7 or 8 or 9 wins. And then the year after that, just improve consistently and make this team better and make this team believe in itself. And I'm just hoping that Aaron Glenn can be the guy to do this, because it would feel better. It's almost like when Rex Ryan became the head coach of the New York Jets. Yes. He had that old Jets like family, because his father was, the defensive coordinator. Yeah, it's like it had that feel, felt special.
Yes.
Aaron Glenn has that same feel. So let's bring him on, ladies and gentlemen. He has his own channel, Ricky New York Live. Let's hear from him. Ricky, how you doing tonight?
What's up, Ricky?
Hey, how's it going, Mike? How you doing tonight?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Not bad. Can't complain at all. And yeah, ever since we hired Aaron Glenn, and I was a big Aaron Glenn guy right from the beginning, right from the jump, because I knew what we were getting. And when Glenn says, like, we're the New York Jets, like, he isn't thinking about the crap that we've dealt with the last couple of years. He's thinking about the Jets in '98 in the AFC Championship game. He's thinking about those early 2000 Jets, where we were in the playoffs damn near every year. And, whether it was with Parcells or Al Groh or Herm Edwards, like those era Jets, we were a good team. Like, we were always competing. And so, and I know that in the time since then until now, things have been really bad. However, people need to, and I'm talking to you and Maddie. I'm talking to all my Jets fans, brothers that have gotten negative over the course of recent history. But we need to get out of that mindset, man. I remember like late 90s, early 2000s, like I was that loud Jets fan, because I knew we were going to win every week. Like, I didn't think, I knew. And I miss those days, man. And I think that, and we've had some bad coaching and bad luck along the way, but Adam Gase was fucking awful. And Robert Saleh, like, everybody thought that he was going to be a good coach, but dude, I think he wanted so bad to be Rex Ryan. Like he tried to play to the cameras. He tried to have this aura about himself, but like the inspirational sayings all the time, that's like he's reading them off of one of those calendars you get with a different inspirational saying each day. Dude, the platitudes and the excuses, and you know what? When you get your fucking ass kicked, I don't want you standing up there telling us all about how you had a good week in practice. Are you fucking joking me? Well, guess what? I don't care how good practice was, because it didn't translate to the field. And I guarantee you we will not get any of that with Aaron Glenn. I guarantee you. We come off of a bad game, Aaron Glenn will get up there and say, that ain't good enough. No fucking way. It's not acceptable. That's not the way we play football, and I'm not going to have it. And he's not going to pull any punches. And there was the reporter this week that got butt hurt and didn't like the way Glenn talked to the media. Well, guess what? He was saying Aaron Glenn needs to drop the act right now. It's not an act, idiot. Fucking, go back to when Aaron Glenn was a player. He talked that same way back then. He's been the same guy all along. And somebody else brought this up the other day. Look at the people that Aaron Glenn learned under. Sean Payton, kind of a dick. Bill Parcells, kind of a dick. And I mean that in the best possible way too.
Well, hold on real quick, Ricky. Let me ask you this. And this is why I think so many of us are pessimistic and whatnot. And I hope you heard. I want to be optimistic, and I want us to rally and unite around Aaron Glenn, because this story, if it works out, would be such a great story for the Jets, for the fans, for the whole organization. And it felt like like I said, when Rex took over because of his dad, Aaron Glenn coming back from a player now to our head coach, it would just be, and the Jets are due. But here's what I'll ask you. This is how I put it. Ricky, do you think Charlie Brown is ever going to kick that football?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
Because as a Jets fan, how many times can Lucy pull that ball away? You land flat on your back and kill yourself. And, that's what Jets fans are going through. Every time we go out onto the field, Lucy pulls the ball away. We're waiting for Charlie Brown to kick the ball.
Well, yes. And in this analogy, if we're Charlie Brown, yes, we're finally going to kick that ball.
Oh, God,
And this is the thing, as you know, I know a bunch of people said that, you know, well, Aaron Glenn's a first-time head coach, blah blah blah. Okay, it really irritated me how many people were like all in on Mike Vrabel. Fucking dude, Mike Vrabel, the great coach, is a myth. Okay, it was a myth that was created by Derrick Henry and AJ Brown. Okay, look, how did they do after AJ Brown left? Which that wasn't Vrabel's fault. That was the GM. But you've got a top 3 wide receiver in the league, and you trade him away. And then it was, you know, they just put everything on Derrick Henry. But yeah, the thing that I would say about that is, not only did we get a new coach and GM this cycle, they're clearing out front office people, they're clearing out scouting people, and you know what? I think Aaron Glenn, being that he was in our scouting department, he saw things that were wrong within this organization while he was here before. I think that's why there's so much turnover, and they're clearing out front office people and clearing out other people, because Aaron Glenn could go, man, when I was here as a scout, this one department was just constantly dropping the ball, and he has intimate knowledge of what some of our problems were. Something that Mike Vrabel would not have been privy to had he been hired here. So I will push back against that all day long. I think we made the right hire. I think that not only his personal devotion to the team, because he was a former player here, but also the fact that he worked here, you know, in the scouting department, I think just gives him like inside information to what maybe a lot of our problems were. And maybe problems that other regimes overlooked or were unaware of. And so in that way, I have more faith in him. And the other thing about people going, oh, I don't want a first-time head coach. Well, guess what, dummies? Rex Ryan was a first-time head coach. Herm Edwards was a first-time head coach. Todd Bowles was a first-time head coach. All had winning records their first season. So,
everybody's a first-time head coach eventually at some point.
Yeah, you have.
You know,
yeah, that's the thing.
Belichick was a first-time head coach at one point. Don Shula was a first-time head coach at one point.
Right, exactly. Parcells was a first-time head coach at one point. And as far as the guys in the league now, like, dude, all the Shanahans and McVays and you know, the hot names right now, they were all first-time head coaches at one point. So, yeah, I mean, I think we get a little bit too caught up in that. You know, experience is nice, but at the end of the day, you're either the right person for the job or not. And this time, I think we got the right person for the job. Like, even when we had, like, you know, when Aaron Rodgers came and we had the roster that was built to win right now, all we needed was the quarterback. Like, yeah, I got all carried away like everybody else and was thinking Super Bowl, but it was like I was hopeful. Like, I thought, like, you know what, this could actually happen now. But with Aaron Glenn here, like, I really believe. It's not just like hopefulness. It's like I really believe. And I don't know if I felt this strongly about a coaching staff since Parcells was here. You know, like maybe Herm Edwards in the beginning, and of course I loved Rex, but like, this is the first time in a long time that I really, really honestly believe in the leadership we have. And, you know, Aaron Glenn's background as a scout, guy can evaluate talent. Fucking Muji came up in scouting, can evaluate talent. So I think we have a lot of good talent evaluators. The other thing is, you know, I'm not going to ramble on forever, but there's just a lot of things that I've heard about, you know, say Wilkes telling the linebackers, like, okay, this play is similar to this play that you guys used to run, and like relating it so they can kind of relate the new defense to what they were running before. The fact that the DB meetings are all the DBs together, not corners separate from safeties. So they're all hearing the same calls, all getting the same information, all on the same page. And like the guys were talking, that creates an extra element of trust there, because as long as you do your job, you know where this guy's going to be. You know that the safety is going to come down in that situation. Like, I just like it. I like everything I've heard about keeping guys on the same page. And every guy you listen to says that they really believe in this coaching staff. They believe in the coaches, the way they're relating to the players and relating the information. Dude, you can have the smartest guy in the world, and that doesn't mean he's going to be a good teacher. Like it's the ability to relate that information to the people you're teaching. And I think we have the right people in place for that. So yeah, I'm very optimistic. Hopefully it starts rubbing off on all my fellow fans, because I think we're in for a good year, and this will be one of those things where, like, even if we don't win a game, like the other team, they're going to know they were in a fight. Like I think we're going to compete every single week, regardless of the outcome. And going back to what you were saying, one last thing, what you were saying earlier about keeping CJ Mosley in here in some kind of capacity. Dude, just like we had Antonio Cromartie as a coaching intern last year, that's exactly what we need to do with CJ. Have him come in and be a coaching intern, start learning the coaching ropes. And I would absolutely love to keep him a part of this organization.
Absolutely. Yeah, he is a leader. He is a motivator. He is a captain. And he proved that. So I would love for him to have some part in this organization going forward. But I will also say that before Aaron Glenn was hired, one of the reasons why I was one of the people who wouldn't have been against a Rex Ryan is because I wanted someone who's going to come in and be no nonsense and not take shit and come in and just be the boss. And it seems that Aaron Glenn is going to be that person. So, win or lose or pass or fail, whatever, that's what I want. And it seems so far that that's what we're going to get out of Aaron Glenn. And I hope it continues, and I hope he sticks to his guns. And I really hope that he takes the reins of the team. And once again, it's almost like Herb Brooks. Like Herb Brooks said for the USA hockey team, he said, I'll be your coach, but I'm not going to be your friend. If you want a friend, go to this guy, whatever. Like, that's what I want him to be. That's what I don't need it. I don't need like Robert Saleh or whatever, or Adam Gase or whatever, being best friends with all these guys and worrying about, are they going to like me or are they not going to like me? It's like being a parent. You can't parent children if you want them to like you like 100% of the time. Their kids are going to not like their parents at points because you're trying to instill life discipline in them. And that's what I want Aaron Glenn to do. And I'm happy that so far it seems like he's going in that route.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm impressed by the fact that so many of the players that I've listened to have obviously had one-on-one conversations with him. And like Quentin said, he told me what he likes and he told me what he would like me to do better. Sauce said we've had some good conversations and some tough ones. Good. I'm not worried about the coach trying to placate these so-called star players and coddle them. Like, dude, I think under Saleh, like, he just took these naturally talented kids and just trusted them to develop on their own or something. I don't think people were really pushing Garrett Wilson to be better when Saleh was here. And, like Aaron Glenn comes in first day and tells Garrett, like, dude, if you want the rock, you're going to block. I love that. Because say what you will, and I know that people probably don't think like blocking isn't a big part of a receiver's game, but I'll tell you what, you never really see a big run in the NFL where the receivers don't block down the field. And you look at the Rams, dude. That's one thing you can say about Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Those dudes are fucking monsters when it comes to blocking. So yeah, I just, like I said, I've got such confidence in this staff and the way things are headed. And I've actually got so much to say about it that I'm going to have to sit down and make another one of those positive videos myself later on tonight. But because, yeah, I've been basically just like boiling over wanting to get some of this out the last couple of days. And unfortunately, my other job has kept me really busy. And I picked up a tour along the way, which some people that the people that we worked for on the Welcome to Rockville thing apparently gave my company a good referral. And so I ended up getting a call, and some guys from another company were involved in an accident in West Palm Beach yesterday, which hopefully all those guys are all right. But they needed help set up for a show here in Tampa, which is it's Kill Switch Engage and like a bunch of different bands. But I went and did the setup here at the amphitheater for that. Well, it turned into like a little mini tour where I'm actually picking up and I'm going on the road with the guys. I'm doing this one and then Atlanta and like 3 dates in Texas and Phoenix, Arizona. So I'm actually like leaving and going on like a little mini tour. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, just keeping busy. But while I've got a chance, I'm gonna probably try to pump out 1 or 2 videos tonight. Tomorrow, I'm going over to hang out with my best friend, who's Steve, the former guitar player from 6 Feet Under. And we're going to sit down and finish recording the intro music for my show. And awesome. and then Monday it's hit the road and do the tour thing for the next few weeks until the beginning of July. So busy.
Awesome, Ricky. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Once again, everybody, go to Ricky New York Live. Like I've said it to you before, but I will always repeat myself. I go to Ricky's channel to make me feel better as a Jets fan, like because he has such good points and he comes through with his take, but it's always positive. Especially this year, he's been so positive with Aaron Glenn and all that stuff, and so much of us are sitting here being so like, oh fuck the Jets, god damn it. And I do like it. If Ricky says that the Jets are going to kick that football like Charlie Brown, if Charlie Brown's kicking that football this year, I will be thrilled. So thank you, Ricky. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it as always. Thanks for having me on. And before I go real quick, let me show you. I put together my new computer chair, but I bought this custom seat cover for the computer chair. I gotta show. I've been showing it off on all the shows. It's got my name on it.
That is sweet.
Yeah.
Damn, you have more custom gear than anybody I know. between the hats, the shirts, the seat covers, all that stuff.
Yeah, I've definitely got a problem. It's funny. I was on a show the other day and someone said like, I'll send you this Jets jersey. I'm like, dude, listen, if anybody sends me any more Jets anything, my wife is probably going to kick their ass. I'm better than I used to be. Like, it used to be back in the day when I used to drink. Like, I remember one time I got drunk and it was the first time I won my fantasy football championship. So I bought a jersey for every single guy on my roster for that fantasy team. 25 jerseys, one pop.
Holy shit.
Wife took away the credit card the next day. Like, so, yeah, I've definitely got a problem buying the football gear. But hey, man, you know what? I'm not just Ricky New York when I get on YouTube. I'm Ricky New York all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So, got to represent.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Anytime you want, please feel free to call in.
All right, man, guys. Have a great night.
Later, Ricky. Take care, man.
Do you have like 5 more minutes, Tommy? Because I got one more person.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, like I said, it's going to have to be quick tonight. I got work very early in the morning, and I'm going to be in there for 10 fucking hours. But what would a show be without Mets 2128?
Meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really...
What's up, Mets? How you doing?
What's up, Mets?
Losing streak's finally over.
They shouldn't have shown that pride flag.
Yep.
So what was that? What was the final? 10-4?
11-4.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. How much of the game did Trump interrupt?
Only about 5 minutes.
All right, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. But Mets, did you hear what me and Tommy were talking about? Every time that there's some big world event, it's always interrupting a Mets Phillies game. The president always has to come on and interrupt the Mets Phillies game. Is this all? Is our world wars and world attacks and killing of leaders the fault of the Mets and the Phillies?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's a hot take.
Again, just to calm myself from this losing streak. I mean, Tuesday I made some tornadoes.
What are tornadoes?
Well, basically, in a nutshell, it's beef fillets with 2 different types of sauce. It's a beef fillet, you lay on the top of the bed of a different type of sauce. In my case, I went Tornado Victor Hugo, which is basically, it's supposed to be a filet mignon stacked round. I didn't have filet mignon, so I used shoulder steak, which basically is the equivalent of roast beef.
Yeah.
On top of a sauce béarnaise, which is like a more sour-tasting hollandaise sauce, and a Napolitan tomato sauce. Turned out good enough, but only complaint: shoulder cuts cook too quickly. The meat's supposed to be rare in the middle, and it ended up being well done.
Oh yeah, well if you get a thin cut of meat, you got to like pop it on, flip it, and pull it off. You got to it got to be quick.
So I noticed.
Did you get those? Are those recipes from Vincent Price?
Yes. First time I get anything out of the meat section of this book. And the week before that, it was a ham hock and vegetable risotto.
Oh man, risottos are tough, man. If Gordon Ramsay taught me anything, you can't fuck up a risotto or he'll get pissed
and
off.
I used long grain rice. I didn't have short grain on hand.
I don't even know if I've ever even made a risotto in my life.
I have not.
It's pretty tricky. And it was Hungarian goulash for my brother.
Hungarian goulash.
What constitutes it being Hungarian?
It's a bit of paprika, and they throw yogurt into the stew.
Yogurt.
That sounds like a Greek thing to throw yogurt in. Nothing I like more than a good lamb gyro or hero, as they'd say. All right, Mets. Well, what do you think? Are the Jets going to hire C.J. Mosley as some sort of coach, something like that, now that he's retired?
Perhaps.
I sure hope they do.
They better grab him before Baltimore poaches him.
I mean, that's true. That's true. But I mean, it seems like he has a lot more. I know he played for Baltimore longer, but it does seem to me like he has a certain affinity to this Jets organization because he just got finished playing with these guys. So it's like a big brother, little brother situation. Like he's,
And
that's
then who do you think the Knicks are going to hire? Jenkins or Brown?
I have no idea. And the funny thing is that the more and more that it goes through with the Knicks not hiring someone and you're finding out that they're trying to like get interviews with people and they're turning them down and all that stuff, it just seems to me they had no plan after firing the coach.
But in their defense, when you consider that Thibodeau bullied Rose into giving away draft capital like candy for quick fix players, there's never playing the bench, showing no empathy for the kids or for injuries to his top players.
Hey man, empathy's for losers.
Well, but another thing is that he when was the last time the Knicks made it to the Eastern Conference Finals? Was it 99, 94, 2000? Like it's been 25 years. I just, once again, I'll repeat this. I hate repeating myself, but there may be other people listening and whatever. But if the Jets made it to the AFC Championship game and then they fired their head coach, I would go fucking off my rocker.
Yeah.
I think it's just more of a case where Tibbs took it as far as he could, and his attitude was starting to grate on the players' nerves.
But how can you prove, Mets, that he took it as far as he could go? Because 2 or 3 years ago, they weren't a playoff team. Then all of a sudden last year, they made it to, he brought them to the playoffs and improved from that. Then this year he got to the Eastern Conference Finals and improved on that. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, all you've done, Thibodeau, is improve. You're fired.
That's what's happened with him everywhere. Look at what happened with the Chicago Bulls after he got fired. Look what happened with the Minnesota Timberwolves after he got fired, which only stayed afloat because they had Butler.
What did they want from him? But my point is what did they want from him when he was hired? And he probably went into that interview and said, I'm going to improve your team, right? He literally every single year improved the team.
Except one.
Well, but still, my point being is over the last 3 years, they went from a not playoff team to a playoff team to an Eastern Conference final team, and then they're like, you're fired. I can't wrap my head around that as a fan of a team.
It's a win now mindset. Give him he has this mindset of, I'm going to win you the title now. I'm going to win you the title now. Just give me the players I need in free agency and trades by sacrificing the draft capital. And this put the Knicks in a bit of a cat bind. That's why they got rid of him.
I don't think that cat was his decision, though, man. He is not a defensive player at all. Like, they had friction back in Minnesota. I was surprised that they even got him for New York because of the friction that they had. So I don't think that was him decision. I have some people that are actually really connected with the Knicks, and there's something against Thibodeau that's a little bit deeper than that.
What is it?
I can't tell you that.
Is it his stubbornness, his inability to adapt, his tactical flexibility, or lack of it?
It's more personal. It's more personal than professional.
No wonder Carton. So who do you think wins it tomorrow night? OKC or Indiana?
I dislike both teams. I do not
If you
like
had to
SBA.
pick, who would you go with?
This Halliburton's not out, right? I heard he was injured or had something going on.
No, he's not out.
I'd pick Oklahoma City to win because the Pacers beat the Knicks. So I don't want to see them win. Real quick, Lane, you came in late. I have to end this show. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get to you tonight. So I'm sorry.
I'll leave it to you.
Okay, Matt. Have a good one.
Later, Mets.
All right, Lane, real quick. I'm going to pull you on, but you got like a minute. Because I have work early in the morning, 10-hour shift. The Lane train, how you doing? Up, and he left. All right. Well, that works out, I guess, for us, Tommy. Lane, next Saturday night, call in, and I will make sure I get to you. Tommy, is there anything else? You got the new Twitter handle that's easy for people to remember. Thomas CFB College Football on X. Make sure you check him out. Anything else, Tommy?
Yeah, actually, I set up a meet and greet with Baltimore Ravens rookie linebacker Teddy Buchanan. It's actually going to be set in Delaware, Newark, Delaware, at a Planet Smoothie.
You're a fucking traitor, I'll tell you that.
Hey, my company followed the kid when he was in college, so we've been working with him. And the place is actually a sponsor for my company. So got to shout them out. That's tomorrow, 2 to 4. If you guys are in Delaware, check it out.
All right. Well, what is it? You said Newark, Delaware? I know it's Newark, Delaware. It's not Newark. Like
is it Newark? Is it Newark?
It's Newark, Delaware, because years ago I worked with a bridal show company.
Yeah.
And one of the places that they had shows was in Newark, Delaware. And we'd call, of course, all being Jersey people, and we'd be like, yeah, and the bridal show is going to be at the Hilton in Newark, Delaware. And they're like, Newark, it's Newark.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know that. That's interesting.
But yeah, if you're down in that area, that sounds good. Are you going to be down there?
I want to, but
because people watching this show, I think more of the draw is less to go see a Baltimore Raven and more to see Tommy Jets.
Hey. You'll see me down there eventually. I'll be down there at some point.
All right. Well, Tommy, thank you for being on the show. Hopefully we'll see you Tuesday or next Saturday, but I know we'll see you again.
You're always of course. Thanks, Mike. Take care, man.
Have a good one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I thought this was going to be like an hour and a half show because please hit that thumbs up on your way out. Please. But my whole thing is I thought this was going to be around an hour and a half show because I need to get some sleep before a ridiculous overtime 10-hour shift that starts early tomorrow. But we still ended up pretty much giving you 2 hours, and I wasn't going to cancel the show. I've canceled one show in the 2.5 years that I've been, or 2 years, I've been a Jets content creator. I don't like doing it because consistency is the name of the game. And I hope everybody who's watching enjoyed. If you're, like I said, if you're here on YouTube, please do me that favor and hit that like button. I was gonna try to get some gifted channel memberships out of you guys tonight, because I was gonna match them. So if you would have gifted channel memberships, I was gonna match them up to 10, get 20 new members on this channel. But we'll worry about that Tuesday night and next Saturday night, the last Tuesday and the last Saturday of the month. Let's give some channel memberships on those shows, guys. Regardless, let's hope CJ Mosley stays in the Jets organization any way possible. Scout, coach, water boy, I don't care what he is. Let's keep him in there for that leadership and that motivation. Malachi Corley, hey, good luck keeping your job, pal. You're the two things we know you did is you blocked Tommy Jets, you blocked me like a big old pussy, and you dropped the ball before you got into the end zone for a free fucking touchdown for your first of your NFL career. You need to prove yourself if you want to keep your spot. And to be fair, even though I have something personal against you, I hope you do. I'd like to see the Malachi Yak King we've all heard about. So get it. Get it, Malachi Corley. Get it. But that's it here from the Long Island Sound. I am Midnight Mike, your late night New York Jets host, and I can't wait to see you Tuesday night, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Have a great night, everybody.
What's that smell? Dookie.